But listen, I wasn't talking about the baby, y'all. So don't make it like I wasn't talking about the baby. I was talking about the parents. So let me break the shit down. So I hope y'all retweet this or whatever that shit there is. Let me get some light on this month.
Turn that light on, White.
Took my wife to work. Yeah, we still trying to play like normal people, so my wife won't quit her job. But listen to me, right? You listening? Man, I wasn't talking about that baby, man. Don't y'all try to make it like I'm a horrible person talking about that baby. But I do talk about babies. But I wasn't talking about that baby. And this what I mean. I work with children, right? In the projects, the poor nigga babies. So I'm saying, I made an assessment and I made it sound like a joke. But you gotta look at this, right? Most black children, before they even come into the world, the conditions that they're born in, right? Mama, daddy. When mama and daddy meet, typically they just two young mother passing good. They not thinking about the baby when they coming and with the oohs and the ahs and the thrills and the feels. So they make a baby.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm pregnant. Okay. Mommy nor daddy, they don't change the conditions during the pregnancy. This is motherfucker supposed to say, time out. Y'all hit the brakes. We go quit doing this. We go quit fighting. We go quit because what goes on in the womb is critical to life. Right?
Thanks.
So if mom and daddy fighting and squabbling, boom, 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 and all the baby heard fuck you, and mama is at the studio, and while mama at the studio, you got kill 'em Larry, shoot 'em up Bobby, smoke cigarettes, kill 'em Larry smoking them backwoods looking like thumb. So mama inhaling the secondhand smoke, the baby getting it, mama eating fast food, mama sneaking in, hitting the blunt, mama hitting a cigarette, mama at the club at nighttime with the baby in the womb. The motherfucking baby ain't got no peace. And these are critical. That's why you got these different trimesters throughout the pregnancy, right? You got different stages before it's life in the womb, is what I'm trying to say. So the conditions of those 9 months while the baby in the womb, all you hearing is mom, and then hearing rap music. Suck my mama doing some shit, the baby turned upside down, and while mama pregnant, she getting fucked. All kind of thing mama going through, and the baby going through it too, right?
Yo, man. Yeah. Yo, this is like that boy Charleston White. Man, I know sometimes he be acting a little crazy. He might do a lot of wild things, but man, he's spot on with this one. You're literally a product of your environment. A lot of people don't realize that. If your mom and dad, they always cussing, they always fighting. Your pops always talking about how women ain't nothing. They not good for nothing. He always bashing women. He always, going crazy on your mama. Well, guess what? You got one or two options. You only got one or two options. The first option is you gonna say you never gonna be like your father and you never gonna be like your pops, and you gonna make sure that another man will never put his hands on your mama. It's straight like that. You know what I'm saying? It's straight up like that. I wish that on nobody. You know what I'm saying? If you grew up and your mom and dad was getting into it, and the man that's supposed to be the man of the house, he putting his hands on your on the queen. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. And that's the first option. The second option is, guess what? You're gonna pick up those traits. You're gonna pick up those traits, and you're gonna start acting like your father, because that DNA is no joke. The DNA is no joke. You know what I'm saying? That DNA is no joke, man. You're gonna start acting like your father, moving like your father, talking like your father. Yeah, disrespecting women just like your father. Monkey see, monkey do. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, something that you said you would never be, you might become that. Crazy, ain't it? That's wild, ain't it? That's some deep stuff. And it's the same thing from the female's perspective. If mama she ain't doing right, if this dude, if that, I'm gonna get my money. She getting busted out. What do you think her daughter gonna pick on? She only got one or two options. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Y'all might want to listen to Charleston White. Comment down below what y'all think on this.
On top of that, there's no prenatal care. So that's one of the biggest reasons why black children fail in America, because of either the lack of access to it or the mother's just complete ignorance to how important prenatal care is. Me having the knowledge that I have, I can't come out and say, hey, y'all, black babies because of I can't talk to the culture like that. I got to come talk to the culture with ignorance. Say, the goddamn baby like Maria. Maria, remember? Look how Maria talk. Maria is an ignorant character. So Charleston Rat Williams is an ignorant character that's talking to an ignorant group of people. I got a little knowledge, right? So I got a way to feed them this knowledge. They don't like it, but they like it. They love it. They hate to love it. They love to hate it. But It works. So I can't just come out and say that, but I can come out and say something so horrible to make people stop and think, okay, the conditions that black children are being born in, we need to look at this. Mom and daddy meet, they make a baby, okay, end up loving, might hate each other, but they begin to hate one another in the process of childbirth, publicly displaying hate for one. That ain't my baby. And the baby suffers. Lack of vitamins, not probably getting breastfeed. Mama stressed out over the nigga, so mamas don't know how to just really hold the baby. My baby, mommy love. So it's hard to do that when you're in the club and you're in the limelight and you gotta with this nigga and this nigga not helping you. And then on top of that, you got the postpartum that every woman goes through after childbirth, and you're in the spotlight, so you never get to go through but you're going through it, right? And the kid suffers. Now I can't come out and talk to y'all like this. It won't go viral. But if I say it how I say it like that, it's gonna go viral, it's gonna be retweeted. But if I'm saying it like this, it won't get retweeted. So,
and another thing, you know, when people have kids, when you get that text, when you get that call saying, hey, I think I might be pregnant, or hey, I am pregnant, that's gonna show who really down for you. Especially if you got a dude that you know you've been rocking with and you've been dealing with him. If you get pregnant and you tell that man, like, say, I think I'm pregnant, or I think this and that, it's gonna show his true character. It's only, and like I said earlier, it's only one or two options. Either that man gonna step up to the plate, you feel me? Like, hey, I know I ain't got my stuff together, but hey, let's make this rock, let's make this roll. Let me cut off. I ain't gonna be hanging with my homeboys that much now. I gotta hold this down. Option number 2, man, F that baby, forget that baby. Yeah, and then most of the time dudes pick the second option. Because it take 2 people to make a baby. You know what I'm saying? It take 2 people to make a baby, straight up. So with that being said, you remove the father from the household. Now mama gotta do everything. She gotta work. She gotta clean. She gotta feed the baby. She gotta take the baby to school. She gotta pick the baby up. She gotta call off work because the baby's sick. She gotta get the babysitter. She gotta do everything. It's a full-time commitment. It's a full-time job. Ain't no breaks. Ain't no breaks. Mama don't get no break. Baby crying cause she hungry. Ain't no breaks. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand, as a man, or even as a such and such father figure, how you can leave your son or leave your daughter like it ain't nothing, like that's not your seed. I never understood that. You know what I'm saying? I grew up without my pops. Luckily, you know, I got my stepdad. I call my stepdad daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's my dad. He didn't came in the picture when I was like 2 or 3 years old, you know what I'm saying, and been raised me up since. But it's like I ain't really been tripping on why I haven't connected with my biological dad, but it's just like, I don't know. I wish him no harm, but it's like, bro, what type of dude are you? You know what I'm saying? What type of dude are you to where you left your sons and just threw them out to the wolves, and mama had to figure everything out. Luckily, you know what I'm saying, she found a good solid dude, good solid man, you know what I'm saying? I call him daddy. You feel me? Straight up like that. He already know what's up. But it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I might think about it and be like, dang, like, what's the reason? You know what I'm saying? What's the reason? It's kind of messed up when you really think about it. But I don't know. What y'all really think about this, man? It's kind of, I don't know. Every time I start talking about it, nigga be getting mad. But I ain't trying to have that little negative energy, but it rubbed me the wrong way.
So what I was speaking of is the conditions that most black children are being born into. And so when I go out and speak to the youth, and I speak to the youth regularly and oftenly, this is what I said. Whatever has happened to you as a child, it's not your fault. That's one of the first things I want kids to know, man. Whatever has happened to you, it's not your fault, good or bad, right? So I let that marinate in their minds. Whatever has happened to you,
Man, that's deep.
it's not your fault. Because oftentimes the victim, the children, internalizes things, whether that's abuse, and blame themselves. Mom and daddy get a divorce, children blame themselves. Mom and daddy's not together, children blame themselves. Don't know why they do it, but it's an innate nature, I guess, to blame yourself as a child because you lack the brain development and the function and the prefrontal cortex to logically and reasonably think and separate feelings from all. So because you're an impulsive individual until you reach your brain development stage, right? So we go through stages in life, and one of our stages is coming out of daddy, going into mama. That's life. Boy, it's life. Now, some of that life just get washed away and it live for what, 24 hours? That semen got life for 24 hours. It's life in that shit. So, nigga, that's why you don't just shoot your wild nigga. Letting them hold, no, that's a whole nother stuff. But so listen to me. So, it's life in that stage, right? So when that mother swim up and go to that egg, it's a stage to that. So it's stages. So I want the kids to know, listen, you was born into some conditions and circumstances and situations that you have no control over, young niggas and young ladies. You didn't ask to be born. You didn't ask to come here. Your mom and dad and them brought you here. So whatever has happened to you is not your fault. You have to learn to forgive whomever done hurt you and done you wrong. That's where your responsibilities in life come from and starts at learning to forgive the people that you think hurt you, starting with mom and daddy. Forgive them for what you think they should have did, didn't do. You got to, because that don't free them, that frees you. It's a burden if you don't do it. So you have to learn to forgive. That's what I tell children. Once you learn right from wrong, then you become responsible. Now, everything from that point on is on you. But man, as a kid, man, ain't none of that on you. You didn't ask to be here. You just born into this shit.
Say, man, I ain't gonna cap. I ain't even watched the whole video through yet. Like, I'm watching it with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And, like I said earlier, I was talking about, like, dang, like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, what did I do wrong? But, like Charleston said, it ain't on me. I can't control that. All I can control is I can just be the best man that I am now. You know what I'm saying? And I know for sure my mama raised a good dude, and my pops. You know what I'm saying? My stepdaddy, which I call him daddy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, learn to forgive. Learn to forgive. Learn right from wrong. That's it right there. Because if you hold that hate, you hold that anger, you're never gonna live your life. You always gonna be living in the past. You living in the past, you can't live in the present. You always gonna have that envy, that hate, that pain. You gotta learn how to let that go. You gotta learn how to let that go. And yes, White know what he doing right here. And like he said, he always say it so crazy, but that's the only way to get our culture's attention. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that we can soak it in, like we hard-headed. Just like when Granny say, boy, don't touch that stove hot. And you touch it, it's Boy, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's almost like watching this video with y'all. You know, my head a little more clear. I ain't even gonna cap with you. Like, yeah, I'm damn near holding tears back right now. I ain't gonna lie to y'all for real, for real.
It's your parents' responsibility to nurture you in the best environment. But if they don't know, they don't know. But that's where the village comes in, right? They said it takes a village to raise a child, not a mother and a father. They said it takes a village. So that's where the village come in, right? So you got a Mr. Charleston in the village saying, hey, man, that motherfucking baby gonna be, hey, man, the way they doing. But, man, he wrong. He's speaking against the baby. No, if we do something now, we can stop that shit. My nigga, somebody step in and talk to that nigga, tell him, man, you don't do your woman like that. Nigga, why she going through this? Because what she going through, the baby going through. My nigga, goddamn. Nigga, pull back and let her have some peace during pregnancy, if nothing else, so the baby can develop properly. My nigga. Somebody got to tell the young nigga, Saul, nah, homie, chill out, my nigga. Pull back and let her have some peace, my nigga. And somebody got to tell the young lady, say, man, that nigga, I know this woo, but you got to think about your baby. Because what you eat, it eats.
Yep.
What you feel, he or she feel. So, nah, bitch, chill out, nigga. And, man, put that blunt down, bitch. You got to think, brother. You ain't doing this for you. You doing this for the baby. What your body go look like afterward? What your baby mind go be like? What type of temperament? Because, bitch, don't you know from 0 to 5, those are the most critical stages of any individual's life, because that's who you become. Now, you can tear down the structures, but the foundation of who you are comes from 0 to 5, and that's been proven. So I can't teach like that. I gotta come talk like the crazy ignorant mother. Because if you didn't pay attention to Muddy Hill and Big Daddy and them, they go say, bitch, you keep drinking that wine. Bitch, I see you drinking that wine. That motherfucking baby go be rich. You keep making it, bitch. You something you ain't doing. So somebody got to be able to say that. Oh, the baby. God didn't make this baby. God didn't, no. God said everything he made was good. Bitch, how did bitch this baby up? You and your bloodline. And that nigga you done went and made it with. You got to start looking at this shit. That's why that that's why that mother didn't want no man. Now listen, this who you go marry. His bloodline is this. Our bloodline is this. I don't give a if he ain't handsome, bitch. Baby, you gonna marry this nigga. He ain't, what you mean? He got a good, I done checked his bloodline. It matches with our bloodline. Y'all gonna make great, baby. You can learn to love this mother. You don't know, so that's what happened. So that's just start letting them who they want and have babies by. And now we got a bunch of. And I ain't saying it's about they baby. Yeah, I ain't saying, don't try to make it seem like, I ain't saying it's about they baby. But I'm just saying.
Go crazy,
I
White.
wasn't talking about the baby. I was talking about the conditions that the baby was being born into, mom and daddy fighting, the lack of prenatal. Yeah. So don't try to make me sound like I was talking about one kid and I love these baby. Yeah, y'all have a good day. That's all.